Hello everyone, it's Amanda Bach from Bach Star Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. If you hop on here, I'd love to say hi to you, so make sure you say hi in the comments or ask any questions you might have, and I will try to get to them. Just checking my iPad here to make sure I am actually live. Let's see, one way to find out. Okay, still working on that. All right, still working on that. Okay. Hey, there I am. Okay, sometimes it just takes a little bit. All right, so hopefully you all are staying cool. Don't know about you, but it's like 80 bazillion million degrees here. It's supposed to be even hotter tomorrow, so that's fun. Not. I'm a winter person, so heat is getting to me. All right, so I have a bunch of cards I've made this week that I wanted to show you. And then I have a card that I want to demonstrate for you how to use your Stamparatus in maybe a way you hadn't thought of. All right, so this is the July host code. If you want to place an order at www.stampinup.com and they ask you for a host code, if your order is under $150, please use this. If your order is over $150, please don't use this because you will get all the host code benefits. Be sure to select Amanda Bach as your demonstrator. If you don't select me, it will randomly select one for you. What was the other thing? Oh, let me grab them here. The new mini catalog and the Celebration catalog are going live on August 3rd. Can't wait. Can't open these for you, but I have shown you some products from them, and I'm sure you can find more all around YouTube and Pinterest and wherever else. Speaking of YouTube, if you are watching this replay on YouTube, please make sure you like and subscribe. I am up to 186 subscribers. If I get to 200, I am going to do something super, super special, and a couple of people will win fabulous prizes from me. So make sure you do that if you haven't done that already. Okay, let's get started. Here are some cards I made this week. This is using the Hats Off bundle, which is on page 47 of the annual catalog. I love pink and gray together, so I just wanted to create a pink and a gray card. And I used some Wink of Stella on the hat. I think you can see that. It's very sparkly. And I used polished pink and one of the polished pink gems. And this is basic gray. This is the hippo die. This is one of the hippo dies, and that is on page 163. And you know what? I don't think I did the middle. Nope, didn't do the middle yet. I embossed it in the my favorite embossing folder. Tasteful Textile embossing folder. All right, another card I made this week. I wanted to play with a watercolor wash. So I cut a piece of our watercolor paper and I used, actually this is Magenta Madness, but it becomes a lighter color whenever you use it as a watercolor. And I just did a little watercolor wash, and then I don't know if you can see the little dots. Then I just kind of flicked my brush and got some little spots. What I wanted to show in this one is this little piece of ribbon. I just had a little scrap of ribbon, and it is my favorite black organdy ribbon from the annual catalog, and I didn't want to throw it away. So I made sure that I used it just in the corner. And I put Thanks from Artistically Inked down here, and I used the Stamparatus and the Memento Tuxedo Black ink to make sure that it was a nice solid black. This is one of the artistic dies that I then put on top of that. Super simple, super simple. Now I do want to show you the inside of this one. I always like to do something on the inside of my cards. So what I did is I took one of the stamps from Artistically Inked and I inked it in black and just put it right around the edges just to give it a little something on the inside. And I will be sure when I write, I will probably use the Magenta Madness Stampin' Write marker. I like to write my insides with the coordinating color of the front. If I have that marker, I don't have them all. Something I'm getting more of. Okay, so that's that one. Then this one, oh, took me a long time to make, but I loved it. Okay, so if you have not subscribed to Wow Nola Creations on YouTube, do so. I used the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set and dies, and holy cow. Okay, so she has a video on how she created a sunflower like this, and I kind of took most of her ideas. I did change it up a little bit. I didn't add ribbon to it, and I added some gems, and I colored it a little bit differently. Okay, so this is the Celebrating Sunflowers, which is on page 17 of our annual catalog. It's got some beautiful dies that go with it. I used our Stampin' blends to color the insides. Love it. I love how that turned out. Then I used, I think it's a retired embossing folder, the Old World 3D. Kind of looks like old paper. Of course, you could use any embossing folder. I just thought that looked nice. Okay, so there's that one. And I did do the inside. Wishing you your best year yet from Best Year. And then I stamped one of the sunflowers that comes in the stamp set. All right, so those are 3 I wanted to show you right away. Oh, and I stamped the envelope too. Always try to do something on the envelope and on the inside when I do a card. Sometimes that doesn't happen though. All right, the next set of cards will be featuring the Hydrangea Haven. And I just remembered my hydrangea. You know what? I didn't water it when I just watered all my plants. I better go do that after this. I think it's going to bloom for the first time ever. It's got a little bit of purple showing. I'm like, oh, yay. So if it's blooming, I'll take a picture of it and post it. Okay, so what I wanted to do today is focus on this. Okay, it's like a fill stamp for this one. But it's a nice kind of blobby stamp. And I wanted to show you maybe a different way to use it than you've thought of before. So my favorite color combo is blue and purple and pink. So I did a bunch of little blobs on a big piece of paper. It was just a half piece of cardstock. You can tell where they met up there. And I was able to get 2 cards out of it. I used Highland Heather, Balmy Blue, and Polished Pink. And I finished it off with this punch, which is, oh, I put it away. I didn't write it down. Label Me Lovely punch, which is in the annual catalog. And then I finished it off with this beautiful Highland Heather shiny ribbon, and I love it. It's on page 140 of the annual catalog. Love that one. So I put it, and then I colored some of the rhinestones with our Stampin' blends and created some Highland Heather rhinestones because we don't have Highland Heather rhinestones. Now, I did mention I cut half of a sheet of cardstock and created this background and got 2 cards out of it. But to cut it down, then I also ended up with these strips, which I will definitely put on the inside of my cards when I finish them. I just haven't finished them yet. This came from not the Hydrangea Heaven. It came from Pansy Patch. Okay, I liked that. For that, I liked it. And it fit that punch perfectly. So that is the Pansy Patch. So just stamped a bunch of different colors, overlapped some of them, you know, left a little bit of white space. Totally random. And I love how it turned out. So that's a way you can use the Hydrangea Heaven stamp set in a different kind of way. Okay, here's another one. I used that spotlight technique that I posted a while ago, and did the same thing with the big Hydrangea Haven. Ooh, I keep wanting to say Heaven. Haven stamp here. So I stamped it, and then I put it on a layer of Mossy Meadow and colored it in with the Highland Heather blends. So I kind of did like the background in the dark, and then the petals were a lighter, so it gave it some texture. And then just a little pop of that beautiful Highland Heather ribbon. This thank you came from Free as a Bird. And this die, is it in here? Yes, it's in here. It's in the hydrangea dies. So I thought that was a little interesting. And I haven't finished the inside of that one yet either. All right, now to show you the one we're gonna make tonight. Again, my favorite color combo is blue and purple. And then my second favorite is blue and purple and pink. But tonight I am gonna challenge myself to use colors that aren't my favorite, and I just wanna see how it goes. So today we're gonna be using the Stamparatus. If you don't have a Stamparatus, get one, okay? It is great for multiples. It is great for doing the Hinge Step technique. Now I do wanna show you on page 144 in the catalog. There we go, the Stamparatus is there, okay? And everything you need comes with it. I also recommend the small grid paper. I'm definitely going to use it tonight. And then I want to show you on page 49 some stamp sets in the catalog have been designed, and they will say Hinge Step on them, to be used in a hinge step technique, which I'm going to show you tonight. Particularly this one is great to use as hinge step. You'll see it in the catalog. So if it has a little hinge step, you know that that can be used in the technique I'm going to show you in just a second. Hey, Kathy. Okay, but I bet you never thought of using this stamp as it. In the Hydrangea Haven, this stamp right here, I have loaded up on my Stamparatus. Now, I know from experience that I have it exactly where I want it, so I don't want to move it, and I want to put my cardstock right there. I'm also going to show you another little tip using your bone folder. Now, why do I have these in washi tape? Just to make it a little easier for me to grab them. I did accidentally knock them together the other day and had to get those apart. Okay, so for the hinge step, what we're going to do is I'm going to start on the second one, just because it works a little bit better. And when I put this down, oh, no, that isn't where I put it. I put it an inch out, I bet. Don't get those magnets near each other. Don't do it. Don't do it. It will surprise you. Totally done it. Is that how I wanted it? Oh, you know what? I think I moved the paper. That's what it was. I have a different piece of paper in here because my other piece of paper was like totally all gross and messy. I think that's what I did. Pretty sure. Let's see here. An inch out, maybe? Maybe. Oh, what did I do? Should have wrote it down. Thought I'd remember. You know what? That's what I meant to do. There we go. That makes all the difference. I'm like, what am I doing differently? There it is. Okay. Phew, figure that one out. Okay, put your magnets down. Not near each other though. All right, so the first one is going to land right there. Now I'm going to use a color combo, as I said, that I don't normally use all that much. We're going to start with Bumblebee, a yellow. Okay. And when you tap, get it all over your stamp. Okay. I can tell that it's, there we go. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I hear another airplane. I don't know what's with my videos and airplanes. Okay, I'm going to give it a good pressing. Now, if I lift this up right now, the paper, even though I have magnets, it's going to move because these are photopolymer stamps. Here's what you do. You take your bone folder, you slide it in there, hold down your paper, then open it. Okay? Voila. All right, next I'm going to use my Stampin' Chamois, which clearly I've been using a lot of. This is actually pretty clean for me. Okay, and give that a good cleaning. Next, I'm going to take my Real Red and I'm going to ink up my stamp again. Now, it's called the Hinge Step technique because, watch this, I'm going to take it down one notch in the hinge. Okay, and I'm going to press it down. And this time I don't have to sneak under it. I can do this and hold it down as I lift up. Voila. Okay, get my Stampin' Chamois again. Give it a little cleaning. So again, this is a wonderful tool to make. If I was making multiples, I could just bam, 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 just like that. All right, this is Cajun Craze. Again, not a color I use a lot, but I am challenging myself today to do different things. Okay, take it down the next hinge. There we go. Again, I can just hold the paper. Okay, not hating it. And as you can tell, the colors are getting darker as I go down. The last one we're going to use is Soft Suede. So I thought this one would be a great card for maybe a fall birthday or even a Thanksgiving card. Thinking way ahead now. Okay, some people have already started on Christmas. I haven't yet. I'm trying not to, but I know it's going to happen soon. I will start my Christmas. Sorry, I moved my paper there. Okay, give it a good press. Use my bone folder. Okay, hey, I don't hate it. It's definitely very fall-y, isn't it? Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. Ready? Flip it. Flip it. Okay, so we'll put it there. Now I'm gonna put my magnets over here this time. Okay, so we're gonna start back up here. And I want the same color across from it. So I'm gonna start with a soft suede this time. Like that. Just like that. Use your bone folder. Poke it in there so your paper doesn't move. There you go. Wipe it. Okay, next I'm done with this one. So I'm going to close it. Next one was Cajun Craze. Just making sure that it says Cajun Craze. Okay, ink it up. Put it down one hinge and press down. Looky there. Okay, 2 more to go. And then I want to show you the greeting I used. And then I'll show you my favorite color combo because I already have one done already. Of course, I needed to show you a couple of variations to use a stamp that maybe you haven't even used yet in this beautiful stamp set. And yes, I do have a couple more cards I'm going to show you using the actual stamp set as it was intended. But I was trying to think a little outside of the box the other day. The Stamparatus is a great tool. Okay, don't forget to go down a step. All right, there we go. Ba-boom. Okay, looky there. Get my magnets out of the way. Close this puppy because you know I'm gonna make a mess. There we go. Okay. Now, let's do our sentiment right in the middle. So I already have my sentiment, the happy birthday from Sweet Ice Cream, which is on page 32 in the annual catalog. And let's see. Yep, I need to move it over to the inch line. I thought that's what I did. Let's make sure though, I don't want to ruin anything. I moved it out. Let's see, did I move it out to 1/2 inch? Probably should have wrote this down. Nope, I just moved it out 1/4 inch. Yep, there we go. Okay, so that's where I have it. I'm going to put one magnet there, one magnet here. So if I wanted to make lots of these, I could just open it, stamp it, boop, 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 again. Oh, okay, but we're not doing that. Now, in my original, I had used black. So even though I don't usually put black and brown together, I do want to this particular time. So I'm going to use my Tuxedo Black from Memento. And I'm going to give it a good press. Now, I have found that when you use this black for a sentiment, sometimes I like to do it 2 or 3 times. So there's one. I don't love that it's not completely dark right here. So I'm going to do it again. Just want a nice solid black image. All right, let's see if that's good enough. Yes, I like it. We're done. We are done stamping. Now to assemble the card. Now I have also found, let this dry. Leave it alone. Let that black dry. Anyone else watching the Olympics? I am a huge Olympic fan. I have recorded every single channel of every single event, and yeah, I love watching them. Now, honestly, I watch a lot of them and fast forward, and then when it gets to Party Like, I watch that. But yeah, I'm almost caught up to today, so I will hop on after I water my hydrangea, and then I will hop on and watch some more Olympics. Okay, this is my card base of 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 of Bumblebee. And you can use any of the 4 colors we used. I just chose Bumblebee because it's probably my, well, I like real red, but I'm challenging myself to use colors I don't normally use. And I could totally hear my dog snoring. Okay, so I'm going to be careful and not touch the black part. I'm gonna put that right there and see if I like it. I do. I don't have it exactly centered, and that's okay actually, because I was gonna put a dot right there, so it's gonna work out perfectly. All right, so time to assemble. Again, where did this stamp come from? It is a stamp from Hydrangea Haven. Let me get this, grab a stamp set here. It's this one. And I think it's supposed to be used like as like a background color for maybe the sentiments. Like you could stamp this and then stamp To an Incredible Woman over that and kind of give it like a watercolor wash look. But I'm using it and I just saw it. I'm like, that would be a great Hinge Step technique card. And that's exactly what I did here. Okay, next, put this puppy on. Oh, my dog, let me give him a little kick here. He likes to snore. Okay, center that puppy. Okay, looky there. And I'm gonna keep this one super simple, but I am gonna add one embellishment right there with the black matte dots. So I've got my pokey tool, and I think I'm going to use open a bigger or a small one. Let's try this one. Right there. Okay, and there's my card tonight. Super simple, but I just wanted to show you a way to use your Hinge Step technique using your Stamparatus. Okay. So let me show you the original one that I made using my favorite color combo, which is blue and purple. So there's the one I made using that one. I used Pacific Point, Balmy Blue, Highland Heather, and Gorgeous Grape. And then I mounted it on Gorgeous Grape cardstock. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, I generally don't use white as my card bases. I just like to use color. So I don't use a lot of white. So what I could have done is use a white card base and use one of these 4 colors as my matte layer. That would have been fine too. But I think the black just made it pop a little bit, considering I used the black here. So I do like that card. Again, that's Hydrangea Haven. And the sentiment is from Sweet Ice Cream. All right, and the last card I want to show you today also uses the Hydrangea Haven, but in a more traditional way. Okay, so we have a new product. Let me grab it here. It ran away. Maybe I won't. I can't find it. Well, anyway. Okay, maybe I won't. Anyway, it is the ombre paper on 135. So let me just show you the catalog. I don't know where my ombre paper is, but I've showed it to you, I think, the last video or 2 videos ago. Right here. It's so sparkly. And I love this purple. So I wanted to use it in tonight's feature card. Voila! So, looky here. That's that beautiful ombre paper. And I used the dies from the Hydrangea Haven bundle. And what I did is, I'll show you because you might be like, how did she get it to look like that? Well, let me show you. Okay, so first of all, I used this for the stem in Mossy Meadow. Okay, then I used this one for the background of the flower head. Okay, and the cool thing about it is you can pop out these little leaves and give it a little bit of texture. Then I took this to get all these dies that are popped up. Can you see that? That they're raised and they're actually attached to the card. Okay. But before I attached them to the card, I took my Highland Heather blend and went around the outside of each little petal just to give it a little depth to it. So it's quite an intense card. And if I use my pokey tool, you can see, maybe not, these parts pop up as well. And I think they've been squashed, so they aren't popping up as good. Those parts do pop up as well in here. Okay. And then this is retired paper. It was in the last mini catalog and I love it and it was so pretty. But again, you could just use this, or you could stamp your own background, or you could use this technique on one side. And then, yeah, you got lots of options. Lots of beautiful options with this stamp set and dies that match. And that is on page 109 in the catalog. And then on the inside, I matted it on Mossy Meadow and stamped in basic gray this stamped image here. Now, I do want to point out that it says images 75%. So on the front, it doesn't look as big as when you open it, right? Oh, okay. So they do look a little bit bigger on the inside. All right, kind of like Doctor Who's telephone booth. All right. And then this little bit here, this thank you is right here. And the little tag is included in the dies. So I just used some silver baker's twine. It's not really twine. It's, what is it? Trim. There we go. That's what it is. And I just tied it around there and then I glued it down. I could have left it loose, but I thought, I want it glued down. And then I am going to send this to someone this week, but I wanted to show it to you before I mail it off. So, okay. So please use your Stamparatus as a hinge step technique. And then think out of the box a little bit. Find a stamp that you know could be easily repeated, and feel free to use it. So those are just a couple more from that stamp set. Those are all from the same stamp set, but they're all completely different, aren't they? Yeah. Okay. All right. Have a fantabulous night, and I will hopefully see you next week. And thank you all so much for watching. All right. Bye-bye.